You know, something I've been thinking about lately is more and more, I think it's so important to just take the time to sit with God and to read the Bible for yourself. You know, for a long time, I thought, like, oh, like the best way to hear from God and get confirmation is through other people, and like when people have words of knowledge, especially like people you don't know, and then you know for sure it's from God, because how would they know these things about you, you know? And I almost was like just really seeking that, and like above all else wanting that, and getting disappointed when it didn't happen for me. Like if I went to a church meeting and was really wanting, somebody to give a word for me. I want to hear from God, and you know, and that's like it's good, like having words of knowledge from people. That's helpful, and that can really boost a lot of people. But ultimately, we need to be okay with however God speaks to us, because He speaks in so many different ways, and God does talk to me. Like, why do I need somebody else to tell me something He's already telling me? You know? Um, I don't know. I guess I've just been realizing um, that people need to accept how God's going to talk to you, whatever that looks like. And I don't know, just take the time to spend time with Him. And I guess part of what I'm getting at is like I was looking for shortcuts, the easy way to hear things. Because sometimes it is hard to just sit and listen and or try and be still, and to um, quiet your mind so that you can, hear that small voice. Um, 'Cause sometimes God kind of speaks more loudly and more obviously, but sometimes it's really subtle and it's quiet, and God's always there. He's always around, you know, and it's just a matter of how aware we are. Like everybody can talk with God. Everybody can have a word with God. Um, we all have that ability to do that. And it's just a matter of our awareness and taking the time to recognize what God's saying. Um, and just being open to what He has to say and how He has to say it. Like, for example, you know, I'd go to church and I would want to like get something from God, go expecting something, which is good. Um, but I had in my head kind of like how that should look like. Like I would, go up for prayer after, and if nobody would come and pray with me, because that happens sometimes, when, they invite you up for prayer, and sometimes there's actually nobody there to pray with you, or there's enough other people up there that, you know, there's not enough like prayer team to go around or whatever. That happens. That happened to me just recently. I went up after a service for prayer because they invited people, and I'm like, yeah, I want to pray with people. But then nobody came to pray with me, and I was all disappointed. But, what I realized was that I kind of missed the people God did send my way, because I was feeling down about that, and I was kind of on my way out. And then somebody else came up and wished me a, happy Canada Day, because that's coming up. And, I kind of dismissed it almost. Like I was friendly, but I kind of dismissed it. And then, I went and I was gonna I've started volunteering in the kitchen a bit, so I was gonna go sign up to help with some coffee time or whatever. And then, a lady in the kitchen started talking to me, and so we chatted a bit, but yet I still kind of, it wasn't until later that I realized, I'm like, okay, I was all bummed out that nobody came to me for prayer, I wasn't recognized or whatever, and but I was. It just didn't look like what I thought it would or what I was expecting or what I wanted it to look like, and because God did send me two different people who were, friendly and wanting to talk to me, and I kind of dismissed it, because it wasn't anybody in leadership, and it wasn't during the prayer time, and so my point being, it's important for us to be open to what God has and how God wants to share things, but then also to seek Him, just spend time with Him, because you don't. Yes, you need. It's good to have other people to give you confirmation and give you accountability. Those things are important, but it's not more important than taking the time to read the Bible for yourself and let God speak to you directly, because you're going to have to take anything you hear from anybody else, like words of knowledge or anything like that. You need to take that back to God, and you need to get Him to confirm it. Ask Him if it's true, because you got to check it. You can't just take people at their word, because there are people out there who, well, people are people. We're human. People make mistakes. People don't always have the full picture, and sometimes God only gives somebody like little snippets. So you need to take that back in prayer, anyways. So yeah, just guess what I'm saying is just take the time, make the time to just sit with God. As hard as that may be, I've just been realizing more and more that is so important. And that's how you know what God wants you to do. That's how you learn His voice. You can't take shortcuts, I guess. And in relationship with God, it's like any other relationship you have with somebody, a person. You need to nurture it. You need to put the time in. You need to make the effort to make that relationship grow and flourish. Can't expect there to be a great bond between you and somebody if you never see them, or talk to them, right? I mean, it sounds so simple, and people have been saying that to me all the time, like, oh yeah, spend time in prayer and take the time to read, and but it's like you don't really. Well, it's like something but you don't know. Anyways, kind of rambling now, but yeah, just try to make the time to spend with God, and it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.